Round number 3.
Everybody knows somebody, right?
Right. Picture looks dark for some reason.
I don't know.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of King of the Court. We are your hosts, Tyler and
Jimmy
Miller.
Is that fresh? That looks fresh out of the package.
Yep, sweater weather.
That looks sick.
Sweater weather.
I like that color.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to the title sponsor of this show, who is The Pickler. The Pickler is the title sponsor of King of the Court podcast. The Pickler, they are the number one indoor pickleball facility in the entire world. They have announced, Jimmy was just telling me offline, that they have announced, or they have sold more than 370 locations.
370, and I believe they're up to like 60 to 70 leases signed in essence, which means that, once the lease is signed, you begin construction.
Yeah.
So we're going to have 60 plus picklers by probably Q1 of next year. End of Q1.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. We love it. We love to see it.
There's a new one in New Jersey, sold out.
Are you going to that opening?
They haven't asked me, but
Maybe we'll be out there. That'd
maybe
be
they
fun.
should invite us.
Yeah.
We could stay with Caitlin Kerr.
If you're interested in owning your own franchise or being a part of the pickleball industry, reach out to thepickler.com and tell them that the guys at KOTC sent you for more information. Also, we have another incredible sponsor, which is Pickleball Central. They are the number one online retailer in the entire world as well.
The world.
What I really like about them is
Pickleball retailer.
You can buy any paddle you want and then return it if you don't like it within 20 or 30 days.
30 days, yeah.
Yep. So they have all the brands, all the top brands. It's not just specific to one brand. They have everything out there. And then last but not least, we have Stack Athletics, which they're coming out, or they came out with a new fall line, and it is incredible. It's really good for these colder temperatures.
Yeah, the colors are pretty sick of their new fall line.
This is one of their sweaters. I don't know if you can see it all that well, but
everything they do is
super cozy.
Yeah, it's cozy.
Looks good.
Buttery soft. The shorts. They have leggings for women. I literally wish I was a girl.
Just for those?
Just so I could wear those leggings.
Would you?
Can I still?
I was going to ask if you were going to transition, but that might get a little political here.
Yeah, I'm not sure we can talk about
Who are you voting for? Election is in 1 week.
There's a lot of things we probably shouldn't talk about.
1 week.
But those leggings, I'm just telling you, they're legit.
Use code KOTC at checkout at stackathletics.com to save a little bit of money. It supports us, and it gets you the best price possible.
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy, moving on. We have a busy week. So we had a little bit of a off week for most players. There were some players that had MLP, but many players had a bit of an off week. And now we are back at it with the quarterfinals of MLP, the playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs
so this is
are here.
What the entire year comes down to right now.
Yeah, so a lot of people said that they wanted, an ending. They wanted, these events to mean something. Well, this one will mean a lot.
Okay.
Right?
Who do the Bears play?
Well, the Bears did not make it.
Oh,
but
shoot. Also, the Utah Diamond did not make it.
Utah Black Diamonds, Bears, we will be at home.
Yeah.
But no surprise, our top two teams in the Premier League were the New Jersey Fives and the St. Louis Shock, with the Fives actually edging out the Shock on the last day of the season.
Yeah, I did not think that would happen, but it did.
Yeah. And then the Flash came in at the 3 spot, DC at the 4. The Ranchers kind of limped in with some injuries at the 5. And then the Hustlers won their first 2 games on Friday, Thursday, whatever the first day was of MLP Miami. And then they didn't win again the rest of the weekend.
Okay.
But those 2 were enough to get them in as the 6th seed. So the way they do it is 1 and 2 get a bye, so they will not play in Dallas. And then 3 gets to choose their opponent between 5 and 6. So Dallas chose the Hustlers, which means DC will play the Ranchers. Would you have chose, if you had to pick, you're Dallas, do you choose the Ranchers or do you choose the Hustlers?
If you're who?
The Dallas Flash. So
Okay, if you're a Dallas Flash, who do you choose between the Hustlers or the Ranchers?
Or the Ranchers, yeah.
It's interesting well, it's very interesting because is it a healthy Ranchers team or not? Because last time they had 2 of their 4 players injured.
Yeah. Let's assume no Scarpa USA on this team.
No Numination?
No Numination. We have Kwong.
I would think they would choose the Hustlers.
So they did.
Okay.
Now, the Flash are interesting because that J-Dub and Georgia obviously are a very strong team. Mm-hmm. I would say, and then you have J-Dub and Augie, and then you have Georgia and Tyra. Mm-hmm. Hustlers, I would say that their strength is their women's team.
Sure.
So I think Leia and Jackie can beat Georgia and Tyra. Mm-hmm. Right? And then what you have to do there then is your number 2, you assume you're going to get a loss from J-Dub and Augie, and you assume you're going to get a loss from J-Dub and Georgia. Mm-hmm. So can your number 2 mixed team, can CJ and Jackie beat Augie and Tyra? Mm-hmm. And I'd actually say they're probably the favorites in that.
Yeah.
So that could come down to 2-2.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, the Hustlers are the better Dreambreaker team.
I would think on paper they would be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which is why I wonder if you would rather choose the Ranchers in that situation.
Yeah. None of these MLP teams, minus the 5s, want to go to a Dreambreaker just because anything can happen in Dreambreakers.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, 21-4 Bay Area Breakers.
Exactly. They got disqualified after that.
Yeah. I mean, they can never
The Jimmy
play
Miller
again.
rule.
But I'm just saying that I mean, that's.
And
that's
when do they play? They play Friday or Saturday?
Friday, I think.
Okay.
I think no, Saturday. So it's 2 out of 3, by the way. Mm-hmm. I don't know the schedule. It might be Saturday, Sunday, it might be Friday. I don't know. It's this weekend.
Okay.
I should probably know the schedule, but the Bears are out.
And weather has always been an issue for most tournaments this year, and I think for MLP it should be fine. But then Worlds, which is the following week, it should be bad, at least in the beginning.
Yeah. Now the good news is they do have an indoor option.
They do. Yep. So
which
I think
they used last year.
Yeah, and I heard they actually built out 2 grandstand courts, so there's actually going to be seating around them.
Yeah.
So that'll be pretty.
So that'll be nice. So we'll see so it's a 2 out of 3 format. Mm-hmm. So we'll see the Flash play the Hustlers. We'll see DC play Texas. DC, I feel like, was kind of reeling a little bit at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit about MLP Miami. So we had 1 million subs. Mm-hmm. Scarpa subbed again for CJ Klinger. Mm-hmm. He had a migraine, had a rough night of sleep.
Okay.
Got a migraine. Hustlers really weren't playing for anything. DC also wasn't playing for anything. And a little birdie told us that this had been discussed previously, that if they weren't playing for anything on Sunday, mm-hmm. Ignatowicz pulls out to let his BFF, Ryan Fu, play.
It's his employee.
His BFF, his minion. Mm-hmm. Do you think that that's okay?
No.
Like, do you think that that is a good look for MLP, that a dude is pulling out with an injury just so he can let his buddy play?
No, but, I mean, they need to explicitly state what is and isn't allowed, because right now there's a lot of gray area, and so people are able to do these things and there's no repercussions because there's nothing technically bad about it or illegal about it.
I mean, Sam Querrey mentioned that in tennis, I think it was you get two withdrawals, and then after that you start getting fined. I think MLP, you got to have, I think there needs to be some sort of fine or doctor's note or something, or maybe you pull out of this event, for example, and if DC wins,
you can't play.
He doesn't get his. He loses 1/8 of his share, or whatever it is.
Sure.
Something like that, and then maybe that'll keep players from pulling out when they fully shouldn't.
Or once again, we've talked about this before, but just increasing the roster size so that if somebody does get injured for whatever reason, they can just pull somebody that's on their team rather than calling up a friend or whoever it might be.
I mean, it's just wild to pull out of a professional event to let your friend play. Like, this isn't the Make-A-Wish Foundation, right? We don't need to, make everybody feel good and let's let our buddy play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that that's a really bad look. I think it's a bad look for Ignatowicz, I think it's a bad look for DC if they knew that was happening and to allow that.
The worst look for Ignatowicz is when he dropped the ball on the court during the play. That was great.
Gets a hindrance trying to juggle balls.
That was awesome.
You can't juggle relationships. You're not going to be able to juggle balls, James. So, I mean, I just feel like that was a rough look, in my opinion, especially, the last event of the year. And the other thing is I know that, he's like, oh, we don't have anything to play for. But there's still standings, and there's still things. I mean, DC had 39 points. The Ranchers had 38.
I'm sure their coach loved that.
Yeah. I mean, if he had anything to do with it, it wouldn't shock me. So that was just interesting to me. CJ Klinger had a migraine. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm going to assume that that's a legit injury, and he couldn't power through that.
Uh-huh.
It's not like when your significant other says they have a headache. Sorry,
yeah. Well, the thing with
can't tonight. Did CJ say, sorry, I can't tonight, I have a headache? Is that what he just said? Did he just do that to his team?
I don't know.
He's just
the thing with CJ is, to my understanding or to my knowledge, this is the first time he's ever done this in a MLP or PPA tournament.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
anyways, I just thought that was interesting. So, I think my personal opinion is I think that, oddly enough, I think the Hustlers beat the Flash.
Wow, that would be a big upset.
I think it would too, but I think 2 out of 3. I think the Hustlers beat the Flash.
Okay.
And I think the Ranchers beat DC.
Yes, I would think so, yeah.
One other thing I need to talk about with DC, okay? So Mish,
mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw this, but they zoomed in on Rachel Rohrabacher.
Mm-hmm.
So the first 2 days there was no fans there. It was very light on the fans.
Yeah.
I mean, you could hear Colin John screaming about the ball again because that's what Colin does. Mm-hmm. You could hear Rachel has just a very high pitched yell, cheer, I'll call it, and it's like nails on a chalkboard. To be completely honest with you, it's rough. It's rough. And so they zoomed in on Rachel, and I'm going to give Mish a little bit of. I don't think she meant this. I think she meant so the person behind Rachel had those clappers, that you bang together.
Yeah,
they blow up and bang together. Anyways, they zoomed in on Rachel, and Mish said, "If you want to know where all that noise is coming from, this is it." Mm-hmm. But they were showing Rachel, and then you could see the person behind them. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Mish was throwing shade at Rachel, or if she was talking about the lady with the
clappers.
Yeah. But either way, she's right. Rachel, like from the bench, that's all you could hear. Mm-hmm. All you could hear was her screaming. Mm-hmm. Literally the entire match. Like you had to watch these matches for DC on mute. Mm-hmm. It was worse than the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s chant. Mm-hmm. I would rather hear that every day for the rest of my life than listen to Rachel Rohrabacher scream.
Okay.
Honestly. Can we do something about it?
I don't know if there's anything you can actually do about it, but I think a lot of people, the majority, not everyone, but the majority of players and spectators probably hold those same sentiments that you do.
They all commented on it. Everybody did.
Yeah.
Like, if everybody hated my voice, mm-hmm. I would shut the F up. Mm-hmm. Let me just say that.
But what if it gets under the opponent's skin?
It does. It probably works.
So,
and listen, she's clearly a great teammate. She's very happy for her team. She cheers loud. DC is just a.
Oh, I got a little bit of flack on my comments about Kate Fahey last show, that I said that a player, if they act a certain way, they might not be great people off the court.
Did she call you out?
No, some other people did.
Oh,
yeah.
And what did you say?
I said, "Oh man, you're putting me on the spot," but I still hold those thoughts. Like, if you act a specific way,
she got engaged.
I know, that's awesome. Congrats.
Do you think she acts that way towards him?
I don't know. Maybe if I don't know.
Like, you think
on the pickleball court?
You
on
think
the pickleball court,
home, like she's doing the dishes and she's like super intense, like screaming, and then as soon as the dishes are done, she's like completely chill and calm.
Yeah, I'm going to refrain from that. I'm going to take a step back.
No.
I'm going to edit this portion out.
Nope, we're going to be very.
No, I still hold those sentiments. I don't know if people are authentic, if they're acting one way versus another way. I get there's going to be minor deviations and stuff like that, but in the end, if they're acting one way, in a certain setting versus another setting. I think it's a little bit different.
Okay, so let me ask you this. The Hustlers were playing a match.
Okay.
Hayden and Gabe, who were not playing that weekend.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
But they live 40-ish minutes away, I think.
Yeah.
And they showed up every single day to watch MLP, which I'm not sure if that's cool or if they need to get lives. I haven't decided yet. If when the whole Boca crew is literally playing pickleball on the MLP Miami
Pickleball
courts.
is life, man.
But they're playing on the MLP Miami courts, but they're actually not playing in MLP Miami.
Yeah.
So they could have just stayed home and all played.
Yeah.
But again, maybe there's FOMO and you want to be where the action is. And
Yeah.
so yeah, like I said, I haven't decided which way I'm leaning yet.
Let us know, please. We are dying to know.
I guess if you're going to support, you're going to,
Yeah.
So Hayden and Gabe start. Jack essentially misses a return, and Gabe says something like "great shot," and then the chirp fest begins. So they're not playing, but they're chirping back and forth. So the Hustlers win the match. They interview Jack, Roscoe Bellamy, which this is why. I know a lot of people are like, we need professional commentators, and I hate the players commentating. I think Roscoe's really good, but also this is why you want the players. Dave Fleming is not going to ask this question.
He might.
I don't think Dave Fleming's going to ask the tough question like that. And so Roscoe basically asked about the chirping.
Yeah.
And Jack essentially said, these young kids, these teenagers, don't respect adults, and they need to learn to stay in their lane.
Yeah.
Is that the equivalent to stay off my lawn? What? This is a sincere question, okay? What respect do these kids have to give Jack Sock? Is there a certain level of respect that they owe Jack Sock? Did Jack Sock pave the way for them in pickleball? Has Jack Sock done anything in pickleball that these boys should be happy and appreciate? Did Jack Sock
has elevated the sport more than they have?
Has Jack Sock ever beat them?
I think in singles, he's beaten Hayden.
I mean, okay. I mean, my point is what? Now, do I think that there's a big difference between fans or when you're on the court chirping and you're off the court? Yes. And so did that need to happen? Probably not. Right? And I maybe, Gabe has regrets with that. I don't know. But my point is are Hayden and Gabe supposed to worship Jack because he's older and because he's an adult?
Well, I don't think Jack is even talking about worshiping.
Okay, but what is the expectation then?
To not trash talk a player when they're playing.
Okay, but he trash talks. He's one of the biggest trash talkers out there.
Yes, and that's what is ironic about it coming from him.
He seems a little soft. He seems a little like, I can dish it out but not take it.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm not saying, I'm asking.
I think it's a little bit different when you're actually playing the game
and I agree.
Versus when you're spectating. When you're sitting in the stands watching, I think that's a little bit different.
And I don't disagree with that. I think Gabe and Hayden chirping from the stands is probably too far, and Jack has a right to be upset about that specific scenario.
Yeah.
However, there's been other scenarios where people have chirped back at him.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's really struggled with it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I don't know what, maybe in tennis there is a different level of respect, but he seems like he likes it and he's having fun. And so he does chirp a lot because that seems to be what Jack does.
Yeah.
But then when it comes back to him, it seems like it really bothers him.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to get Jack on to describe it a little bit more, go in depth, but I think Jack, at least in his mind, he thinks he's doing it a little bit more in fun.
Okay.
And maybe Hayden and Gabe and these other players, they're doing it to get under your skin rather than
more malicious.
More malicious. Yeah.
Okay.
And so in my opinion,
I can buy that argument.
I think that's what he's going for. And then, I mean, they're kids, they're teenagers, they're 17, 18, 19 years old. I mean, Jack Sock is looking at it from a completely different perspective. He's 34, 35, whatever. He's got a family. And these kids are over here just kind of chirping. So I get where he's
showing up on their day off just to chirp.
Exactly. So I get where he's coming from. It is a little bit ironic that it is coming from him, who's known as maybe one of the most.
I mean, it would essentially be like if Matt Wright was basically going on an interview and being like, yeah, I mean, these kids, these young kids just talk too much.
Although I do agree with those sentiments. I feel like the younger generation, and maybe I'm old school, but the morals are quite a bit different with the younger generation.
You think that there needs to be
some spanking going on.
Okay, but now I'm going to be very honest about this, and this is not because you're my friend, but I feel like you're an OG.
Okay, yeah, I've been playing a while.
I think you and Ben and Lucy and Matt, and there's these OGs that have been playing since 2016, 2015, 2017. Zane, right? And so maybe there is a little bit of level of respect that you guys have earned. Mm-hmm. I mean, even Ben's in that list. Mm-hmm. You know, and Ben's in that list because of his results that maybe you guys have earned, where, you know, I don't think these guys grew up as jack stock tennis fans. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, if I step on the soccer field and Patrick Mahomes is playing against me, I'm not sure I'm going to give him the same respect that I'm going to give him on the football field.
No, for sure. And I think, I mean, there's still a pretty big divide between tennis and pickleball, and a lot of the tennis players are coming over to play pickleball.
Wait, is it called the pitch? The soccer pitch?
The pitch? I don't know.
Anyways, okay.
I think that still, even though a lot of tennis players are crossing over into pickleball, they still have in their mind, and maybe this is true, maybe it's not, they still have in their mind that tennis is significantly harder than pickleball.
Yeah.
And so even though they're playing and they're not having as much success in pickleball, tennis was so much harder.
I mean, in Jack's defense, he says all the right things about pickleball, right? And he is a good ambassador. He's trying to grow the game, and I think he does deserve some credit for that. But the reality is if he's not getting paid $1 million right now, you know, he's not playing pickleball, right? Like Jack Sock is not going to. He's made enough money. He's had a great tennis career. He's not doing this pickleball grind for, you know, $500 an event. Like some of these guys are doing, right? And so yes, he's saying all the right things, but he also, you know, and this is what kind of Hayden said when he came on the pod, is he has this kind of too cool for school attitude a little bit, where because he's not, it's almost like because he's not good at it, he acts like he doesn't care about it. Right. And it's not that he's not good. I mean, obviously his MLP team just made the playoffs, but because he's not great, he's not one of the top players. It's easier to feel better about yourself when you pretend that you don't care. Right. Instead of being all in and feeling like you're freaking, you know, working super hard, which I guarantee he is behind the scenes, but then you're still not getting the results you want. So what you do is, in the public persona, you put on this front that you don't care.
Sure.
And then it just makes you feel better about yourself.
The only thing I'll say with regards to Jack is I feel like, especially the past few months, he's kind of been getting a lot more attention, negative attention, than he has previously. And I feel like at this last MLP in Miami, he played significantly better. I don't know if he was more focused.
They had they did the first day. And then after that, it was just like a shit show for the Hustlers. But the first day they played great. And again, maybe they clinched and they were good, you know, but him and CJ had a couple good wins. I mean, they beat James and Deckel.
Well, was it CJ? Wasn't he out?
The first day CJ played.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. And they had a couple of good wins. So yeah, I agree with you there. Now, speaking of tennis players, Donald Young.
Okay.
So we played Donald Young in Virginia Beach. And essentially what he did was he ripped everything as hard as he could at Amanda Hendry. We talked about it on the pod. I said I had no issues with it at all. He chirped her the entire time. I mean, literally to the point where he was getting in her face. He was walking up to the net. He was like screaming. And yeah, I mean, he hit the ball through her. He got in her head. It worked. Right? They picked up a win. And again, I don't have any issue with it. She chose not to tap his paddle at the end. That's her prerogative, right? So then we see him, it's kind of carried over to other matches, and that kind of seems how his game. And we see him grab a ball in a match and just fires it over the fence. Literally picks it up.
He throws it to the side.
Like, you know, length of the court, over the freaking tropical bushes, and just throws it. Gets a technical warning or whatever it was, like because he was pissed off. And yeah, I mean, I I laugh about it. He actually not a bad arm, lefty. But I don't know. Is that a tennis thing? Can we lump this into Jeannie Bouchard would never.
Jeannie would never. Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't follow Donald that much, but I don't think he acted that way in tennis.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it's his MLP team he's on or if it's just the culture of pickleball.
Did you say Rettenmeyer's rubbing off on him?
The Florida Smash, I don't know. Or if it's just pickleball in general. But me personally, call me old school, I don't like the way that it's trending. You're seeing people taunting, you see people laughing, you see people doing every crazy thing after every single shot. I get after every 5 or 10 shots or when you hit a good shot, but when it's after every single shot, to me, I don't like that.
Okay, well, what about this? So also, if you notice, Georgia she's calmed down. She's not screaming, coming to the net and screaming every time anymore.
Yeah, I haven't noticed too much, yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a question then. What about someone like Vivian Glassman who laughs after she makes a mistake?
So she's laughing at herself.
Yes.
That's different than trying to stare down your opponents.
100%.
And I think that's
But do you think that's a nervous thing?
A nervous thing, for
sure.
sure.
Or do you think that that's I don't care?
I don't think it looks good, but I think that's a nervous thing. She doesn't know what to do, so she just laughs.
Like she feels embarrassed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there were people that were getting after her for that.
Yes.
And like saying she doesn't care and this. But I think that literally she just is.
She doesn't know what to do.
She doesn't know what to do. Yeah.
She said she doesn't play singles because she gets too nervous.
Yeah, like what do I do with my hands?
Exactly.
Like one of those situations.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the future. It does seem like the organizations, PPA, they tell their refs to clamp down. You're seeing refs clamp down quite a bit more on player behavior, but you're still seeing it. And so I'm old school. I get it. But it's a different game.
We're not going to hear any more uh-ohs out of you.
I mean, if people start it, I normally don't back down, but I won't say never, but I'll rarely be the first person to start it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So getting into Challenger just really quick, we had kind of a crazy last day. So while Premier was already decided, Challenger, there's still a lot up in the air. So
the teams to look out for were Aces.
So the Aces, the Breakers, and the Pandas were essentially all battling for the last spot. So going into the last day, the Aces needed 4 points to secure that last spot. Not many people gave the Pandas a chance. And the Aces actually only got 3 points the entire event. The Breaker and the Pandas, on the final day, they needed to beat Miami, who Miami needed to win to stay in the top 2 spots. And the Pandas beat Miami on the last day to not only sneak into the playoffs, but knock Miami out of one of the top 2 spots, which means that they're no longer automatically headed to Premier next year. So Chicago Slice, SoCal Hard Eights are headed to Premier.
It's top 4 teams from Challenger, right?
Top 4, But those guys get a lock because they get a bye. So then now we have Miami will play Frisco, rematch, and then the Bouncers will play the Las Vegas Night Owls.
Gotta love MLP.
Yeah.
Nothing else like it.
I mean, that's exciting. But for me, I'm kind of more like interested in off-season wise because we've had so many conversations about this on what these teams will do. If you're a team like, just talk about Chicago Slice, for instance. Let's go SoCal. If you're the SoCal Hard Eights, you are automatically going to Premier. Can you compete in Premier so you can't keep Yana. So can you compete in Premier with Eric Lang, Purple Jesus, Irina Tereshchenko, and whatever other player you pick up? So whether that's, you got to think off of the people that are going to be dropped. Your best case scenario, best case scenario would be like a Kate Fahey or a Callie Smith or something like that. Your worst case scenario is essentially getting someone like Yana back. Can they compete?
I think it'd be very difficult.
I mean, I agree with you. So do you, if you're the SoCal Hard Eights, do you make it and then do you not keep anybody? You don't keep anybody, maybe PJ. And then what you do is you go bid on all the players that are getting dropped. Because now can you put together...
And there's no limit on the bid, right?
There's no limit. So now can you go put together a team of, of dropped players of, say you just take the lowest level person on every team. A team of Augie.
I mean, that's what Utah Diamonds were this year.
So like a team of Augie, a team of, Hunter Johnson, a team of Kate Fahey, a team of Mari Humberg. Are those players better? Is that a better team than what you currently have?
Yeah.
And the reality is I think that's what you do. Now it sucks because
the only issue is you'll be fighting with 4 other challenger teams.
You will.
Teams that are wanting to do that exact same thing.
You will. And one of the issues too is you're not rewarding the players that got you there.
Yeah.
Right? But here's the reality is you go fight for those players. Say you only get Mari Humberg, right? You get outbid for everybody else. You telling me that Eric Lang won't still be there?
Yeah.
You're telling me that Irina won't still be there? And you can just go pick them back up?
Yeah, I mean, I doubt every single player would be there, but you might be able to get 2, maybe 3.
Put together a similar team.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like that might be the play here. Now, I know Tim Parks. You know Tim Parks. And Tim Parks, love him. But Tim Parks is going to want to see if his team can compete in Premier. He likes that challenge.
Sure.
And so I don't think he's a team that would do that. But if you're the Chicago Slice, you can't keep Megan Fudge. You have Jack Monroe. I think he's a good piece to build around. But you don't want to go into Premier with freaking Brendan Long. Right?
Be careful. He might start winning all the PPAs now that you just said that.
I mean, Brendan Long and Allison Harris, like they're good players, but can you go into Premier and win with them?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can. So
the only issue is what other options do they have?
Well, that's the thing is you have to go bid for these other players.
And are these teams willing to spend more money?
Well, yeah, that's the other question. But if you are,
because you're going to be talking what 1 to 200,000 probably in that price range, 50 to 200,000.
Well, truthfully, I think that like a Kate Fahey, if Kate Fahey gets dropped, my opinion is completely different. But everybody says keep Gabe, Hayden, and Anna, and then you drop Kate. I do the opposite. I actually think that I drop Gabe.
Oh man, it's tough
and then
because
I can get Gabe back.
Yeah,
because
women are so strong.
They are, and so that's why I think you keep Kate because you have Kate for $20,000 right now. Gabe is $300,000.
Yeah.
So what you do is you're not paying anything for Kate, but if you drop Kate, she's going to get driven way up because everybody's going to want her, right? So Kate's going to be a $700,000 player.
You think people will still spend that much?
Even though like her skill level's probably not that, but when you're only bidding on one player, I think that's where she goes. So my opinion is that you take somebody like Gabe, you drop Gabe, you have Kate for super cheap, and then you go back and you try to get Gabe.
Yeah.
Because Gabe's price isn't going to be that high because there's going to be more.
His will still be high.
Yes, but not through the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you look at the players that are going to be dropped, I think that the majority of the back end players being dropped are probably going to be females.
All right, enough of this MLP talk. Moving on to our next sponsor of this show.
Yes.
C&D Pickleball.
C&D
Pickleball Nets.
Pickleball Nets.
We love them.
They have a new product.
Can we say what it is? I said last week.
Yeah, I think they said we did. We can. Yes. They do. They have a new product.
Okay, I'll let you do the reveal.
Essentially, it's kind of just a teaser, but essentially they're going to have an option that's a little bit less expensive.
A little bit more budget friendly.
A little more budget friendly for those of you looking for a pickleball net, but the same quality and the same craftsmanship as what you've come to know from C&D.
Yeah. So let's call C&D, their price point for their primary net is up here.
Yeah.
I would put their new product coming in the B tier, in the B pricing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't think it's quite half, but it's 60% or so.
Yeah.
Which is significantly less, but for the type of net and type of quality you're getting, now we have a net available that literally is going to be still better than everybody else.
Yep. At half the cost.
At half the cost. Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's incredible.
So now there's no reason for you guys not to get it. No. And especially if you're using code KOTC, it supports us and it's getting you the best price, making that net even cheaper.
Yes.
Talk about insane value.
Incredible value.
Yeah. We love it. Thank you for the support, C&D. I imagine, I'm not 100% sure, but they should be out there for MLP Dallas.
Yeah, they will. And their nets will be there. And yeah, and also Christmas is coming up. So Pickleball Central, C&D nets, let's take care of the pickleball lover in your life.
Oh, by the way, I don't think we mentioned this earlier on.
And
but
by the way, it was Tyler's birthday yesterday, so
what'd you
happy
get
birthday.
me? What'd you get me, Jimmy?
I got you my friendship, which you can't put a value on.
Insane value, very high priced. I don't think we mentioned this, but for Pickleball Central, if you're using the code right now, depends on when you're watching this video, but if you're watching it in October, the code will be KOTC 1024. If you're watching this in November, it'll be KOTC 1124. All right, moving on. So now, 1 or 2 days after MLP Dallas, the playoffs, we have Worlds coming up. Last year, USA Pickleball was partnered with PPA, and they had nationals at this exact same venue, Brookhaven in Dallas.
Club. Farmers Branch.
And then
they got a big, what do they call them? Water tank? What do they call them?
I think so.
With the Farmers Branch on it?
Yeah.
It's like a Texas thing.
A lot of those Midwest states have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird. It's getting signs like normal people.
This year, PPA is not partnered with USA Pickleball. Pickleball is still doing nationals, but that will be in Mesa, Arizona.
Yeah.
And PPA is still doing
the same weekend. This weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy to me is they both have around 3,000 to 4,000 participants.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So, Worlds, we will be there. I get there Tuesday. I don't know when you get there.
Monday, baby.
You get there Monday. I get there Tuesday. We'll be there the whole week. We have a bunch of stuff planned. We have meet and greets. We got a bunch of live pods. We've got some special guests on the pods. We've confirmed a couple. Can we say?
Sure, throw them out there. Yeah.
So we've confirmed Jenna Bandy is coming on the pod. For those of you that don't know, go follow her Instagram. She is playing a lot of pickleball now. She actually has a Guinness World Record for the longest throw by a female hitting a target.
Yeah.
94 feet.
Impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Could I throw it that far?
30 yards.
Could I throw it that far?
No. Here's what we're going to do, though. She's also, shows up. She goes to, New York and shows up at, these parks and plays basketball and cooks all these dudes.
Okay.
I feel like we need to see you versus Jenna Bandy.
Done.
I feel like we need to see this.
Done.
She's got skills.
We'll see about that.
So she's going to come on the pod.
Is there a basketball court there?
We'll find one. There's got to be a driveway. That's all we need.
Okay.
When we have Dylan Frazier
Okay.
has committed to come on. He's got a brand new paddle out. I don't know if you saw. He's got a signature paddle, 002. It's not released to the public. He's actually the only person allowed to use it.
Wow.
Mizzou colors, his alma mater,
Okay.
the Missouri Tigers. You know who they are.
Missouri Tigers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just said it.
And we're trying to line up a couple other ones. Get your popcorn ready. We may be able to land NFL Hall of Famer. We're working on just some other people that are thinking about coming on the pod. So that'll be sick. Worlds.
So this is the biggest tournament of the year, I think, for PPA, and a lot is riding on this tournament for a lot of players. This will kind of be the make it or break it for a lot of the players trying to make that final push for the final tournament in San Clemente at the end of the year. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Let's go over women's singles. So you're going to see most of the top names play. Emily is signed up.
So I think the only top players that are not at Worlds are the Kawamotos.
Okay.
And I think that's because they have day jobs.
Yeah. But every girl that I'm aware of, they're playing singles that normally play singles.
Yeah, there's nobody out. I mean, Annalie will be there. Catherine is actually all the way down to the 4 seed. Mm-hmm. She's been 2 seed almost all year. Brooke Buckner is the 2 seed.
Well, technically, she could be truly the 3 seed, but
truly the 3. Yeah. Yep. Leia is the 3. And some things to keep an eye on, right? Kate Fahey. Mm-hmm. Her and down there at the 9 seed.
I like Kate, Chow. Paris will be interesting. Ooh, wow. Paris and Kate will play each other in the second round.
Yeah, round of 16.
Wow,
yeah,
that's a great
tough.
matchup.
And then Leia and Zoe in the round of 16.
Yeah.
The other, Lacey Schneeman, Caitlin Christian. Georgia Johnson's a 14. Mm-hmm. So, and then Mary Brasha, who's had a pretty good year as well, when she's played. Mm-hmm. The other matchup, honestly, Lane Sleeth has been playing pretty well. in singles. So she's got Dominique Schaefer. And is Jeannie playing singles?
She is, yeah.
There's Jeannie right there. She'll get Lacey Schneeman.
Yep.
Jeannie could beat Lacey Schneeman.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's exciting for women's singles.
Men's singles. Once again, you're going to see all the top names in men's singles because they're wanting to make that last push.
Yeah, so Fed's the 1, Ben's the 2, Connor Garnett's the 3. No surprise there. Tyson's the 4. He's held on to that spot.
He has. He must have had a ton of points, which
from last year. Yeah, he's really held on to that spot. And to be
Alex Newman versus Zane first round. That's a tough first round.
Yeah, there's some tough first round matchups there. I mean, Travis Rentmeyer and Max Green. Max Green's a good player. Mm-hmm. In fact, I think Max Green wins that.
And then the winner moves on to Ben, right?
Yeah. Now Noe Cliff has a first round bye, aka Greg Dow. So that's nice.
Grayson Golden and Anderson Scarpa.
Yeah, Grayson. So Hayworth and Grayson are. Wait, is Hayworth playing? Oh, does Hayworth have to play qualies? I know he's signed up because he's playing doubles with Grayson.
Gotcha.
So if Hayworth has to play qualies, he is going to be a problem for someone.
Yeah. Okay. One thing to note is there might be bad weather at the beginning of the week, so that might mean that all the matches get moved indoors for the first 1 to 3 days.
Yeah, so that will be...
Okay, what do you want to go into? Mixed?
Yeah, let's go mixed.
Okay, mixed.
All right, so Ben and AL, obviously. Yep. Ben and AL, truthfully, have a pretty... They have a
very favorable draw.
Very favorable draw, yeah.
Catherine and Riley are back together.
Catherine and Riley. Kwang Duong, QD.
And AB.
And AB.
AB.
QD and AB playing together.
Yeah.
That could be a formidable team. That is a team.
That's an interesting team.
That will try to hit the ball through you.
Yep. 100%.
They are going to either beat you 11-1 or they're going to lose to you 11-1 by trying to literally hit the ball through you.
Yeah.
Callie and Jack Sock, and they have to play in the round of 64.
Who do they play?
They play Callan Dawson and Leah Tauber.
Okay.
But then they would play Colin and Elise, most likely. Oh, sorry, they play Quali. Callie and Jack play Quali, and then Colin and Elise.
Okay.
Most likely. In the round of 32, it looks like we have a collision course. Tyson McGuffin, Maggie Brasha against Mary Brasha and Pablo.
The sisters, your favorite sisters.
My favorite, love them.
Yep.
Love them, Vinny. Shout out to Vinny. Love those sisters. Lacey Schneeman's playing with Gabe Tardio. Mm-hmm. Dylan playing with Vivian Glosman. There's some Paris and Hunter playing together, putting the relationship on the line.
Mix is fun. You are seeing a lot more mix-ups. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, Leia and Noe, Jaume and Hurricane Tire. Now, there's one team in here that I thought I would never see.
Who is that?
Brandon French and Lane Sleeth.
Why is that?
Well, the mid-season tournament, we played the Brooklyn Aces. And there was a lot of chirping.
Okay.
And Brandon hit a lot of winners on Lane at the time. And Brandon...
Didn't he say, I own you?
He said, I own you.
Okay.
And Lane ends up winning a hands battle later on. And she was pissed, by the way, the whole match. Rightfully so. She wins a hands battle, and she says, nobody owns me. And then follows it with the B word.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great. Honestly, it's one of my favorite moments of all of MLP. She earned it. I love it. I love that she freaking chirped back at him.
And then right after that match, Brandon asked her if he needs a
And then Brandon after, he was like, hey, you want to play Worlds with me? So Brandon French and Lane Sleeth.
All right. Okay.
No Tyler Leung, by the way.
No me.
Tyler Leung is taking a break from mixed.
Yeah. Real quick, we got to give a big shout out to Vulcan Pickleball. They have the V Pro Flight Gen 2 ball, and it is in play in all the PPA tournaments and also MLP tournaments.
And Vulcan is going to have like a party bus.
Yeah. Basically.
At Worlds. And we will be set up there. We will be doing live podcasts.
Is that where we're sleeping? We'll be there 24/7.
Might be where we're sleeping. But come out, say hi to us. We're going to do a bunch of stuff. The place looks incredible. They have the whole Pickleball Boulevard for those that didn't go last year.
Yeah.
So it looks awesome.
Okay. Men's doubles.
Men's pro doubles.
Men's pro doubles. So
you have a tough draw.
Yeah. Yep. So
Tyler
I'm with Connor Garnett.
Tyler and Connor Garnett. If you win, you will most likely get Riley Newman and Hayden
In the round of 16.
Yeah, and there's actually a chance that you guys could get Roscoe and Ivan Jockler, who are no joke.
I would imagine we would play them.
Yeah. So that's tough. See, Grayson or Hayworth is playing with Grayson, so I bet he's playing qualies.
So I talked to Hayworth, and he said because he's doing both tournaments. He's doing Nationals and Worlds, and so he's flying out like from one of them to do the other one.
Oh, so maybe he's only playing singles and Nationals, and then
I think it's that something like that.
Oh, okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have some good Travis and Zane, tough match. Descu and Tardio, Dylan and Jay. The usual suspects in this one.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Klinger and QD.
Yes, that'll be interesting. On paper, I didn't think they would mesh too well, but last tournament they almost had match points on J-Dub and Dylan, so maybe they can keep that magic going.
Yeah, and Ignatowicz and Alshon back together.
Yes.
Didn't go great the first time. We'll see.
Yeah,
if it goes
it's funny
better.
because, they lost to Riley and Rafa in a very close third game, and had they won that match, then everybody would be talking about how good they are, but since they lost it, everyone's talking about how bad it was. It'll be interesting to see how they do. I think they have a pretty favorable draw also, and so that always helps.
All right, women's
All
doubles.
right, real quick, who wins out of Xiaomei and Tyson and Julian, Arnold, and Augie?
I like Xiaomei and Tyson in that.
No Andiamo?
I think I like Andiamo. He's playing well.
Now or never.
But I think, and he's close to home. But I think that Xiaomei and Tyson put it together because I think this is their last tournament together.
Okay.
Tyson was sick though, and he's in MLP Miami. So who knows? Who knows what version we get? A healthy Tyson, I think they win.
How many times? So I've been playing 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do you think I have retired or pulled out from a tournament, not including singles, due to injury?
Once.
What would my injury have been?
You rolled an ankle.
Yeah. One time.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to play, but I could not put any weight on my ankle.
Yeah. How many times do you think Tyson has?
More than that.
This year alone. Dude, he pulled out when he played with you.
Yeah.
You guys won your first round, and then he pulled out in the second round.
Yeah.
Because he was sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, women's doubles. So once again, I like seeing this. We got a full round of 64.
Yeah, full round of 64. We got Jeannie Bouchard playing with Caitlin Christian.
Kate Fahey and Alex Trong.
That
could be fun. Fiery.
Yeah.
Very fiery.
Very, very.
Oh, Anna
fiery.
Bright, Rachel Rohrbacher versus Kate and Alex Trong. Kate Fahey and Alex Trong.
That could be fun. Honestly.
Yeah. Put that on center. Let's go.
I hope Alex freaking brings it. Brooke Buckner and Zoe back together. Tyra and Elise have had good success.
Who wins? Tyra and Elise versus Brooke, Buckner, and Chow.
I think Tyra and Elise get that one. I think Tyra and Elise are playing well. Tyra was just here in Utah training.
Uh-huh.
I think that they're
She went out to the Salt Flats. Did you see that?
Yeah, with Ruben. Big Rube.
Gotta love Rube.
Ruben. Are they dating?
Do you think they went on his motorcycle?
I don't know. Are they dating?
I don't know.
Rube's jacked.
Yeah.
He just posted a shirtless picture today.
I know. Should I start posting shirtless?
I don't know. Papa Tom. Are those your
Dude,
jeans?
I did
Are those Papa Tom's jeans?
205 bench today.
Yeah.
Brant was spotting me.
Oh, I wouldn't let that guy spot me.
And on my 6th rep, I hit a wall. I could not lift it up at all. I just died. Boom. Stuck right there.
Did he help?
He did.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So you did it 5 times?
Yeah.
It's not bad. You're getting there?
Getting there. Yep.
Yeah. How much do you weigh? Can I ask that?
170.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
That's good. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. The Brooklyn Aces, formerly back together, Lynn and Lane playing together.
Okay.
Lynn is now a black bear. Lynn is great, by the way. I didn't know Lynna before we got her on the Bears. Mm-hmm. She's great.
She's cool, yeah.
Just super cool, chill, laid back, just mom life. I like Lena a lot.
Okay, do you see any upsets or anything wild happening?
How did Lucy and Callie do? They're back together again.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, Leia and Tina. I mean, I don't see anything crazy. I think that if I had
the only fun thing that could happen is if there is bad weather and then that forces everyone to go inside. I think that could throw a little bit of a curveball to some of these players. But outside of that, I think it'll be pretty standard.
Yeah, I think so too. I would like to, I think what we all want to see is a Anna Bright, Rachel Rohrabacher rematch with Natalie and Catherine after that 5-set thriller in Vegas.
3-hour match.
Yeah, so there's a chance we could see that. So, yeah.
Okay. Anything else with Worlds?
No.
Okay. All right. Like Jimmy said, stay tuned. We will have a lot of content coming out. If there's anything you're wanting us to do or get or talk to, let us know in the comments or reach out to us on Instagram. All right, going into questions on Instagram. But first, we got to give a big shout out to Jimmy. Tell us about Holy. Tell us about Holy.
Holy, they have pregame, which is your pre-workout in essence. They have your in-game, which is your hydration. They have post-game, which
have you been vlogging? I'm going to ask you every time.
Glutamine. I've been trying to, but it's a grind. And then they have your greens if you want your greens. Listen, we are watching. You guys are watching this. We're here because you guys like pickleball, right? If you're playing pickleball, you've got to stay hydrated. Cramping is a major problem.
It is.
In pickleball, and we have the solution for you.
Holy has a solution.
Check out Holy. Holy has a solution for you. Check out Holy Performance. It is designed for pickleball players. Honestly, it tastes great.
They're also, I think, in every pickler as well.
Yeah, you can pick them up in the pickler.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a phenomenal product. I'm a huge fan. The raspberry lemonade pregame, spectacular.
Yeah.
So go check out.
What's
Holy.
the code?
Code KOTC.
Check them out.
Yeah, go buy a bag, see if you like it. Okay, I promise you will. And also, we have a flavor coming out.
We do. I'm excited. I think it'll probably be another 4 weeks.
Yeah, but it is going to be ridiculous. So.
Okay, all right. Into questions. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm in. Like sin.
Get loose. All right. Somebody said,
I had a question. Someone asked me too. Go ahead.
Is Jack Sock the bust of the draft, or who is the biggest bust?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say where he was picked, Jack is somewhat of a bust. However, and I think Ignatowicz, you can argue with Ignatowicz as well. However, they're both in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So both their teams made the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think Descu might be the biggest bust.
Okay.
They're not a playoff team.
They are not, but they also, the last one event or two events, they've done significantly better with an upgraded roster.
Okay, but they didn't make the playoffs.
Yes, that's
right?
true.
I mean, I feel like if you are, you're going to take Descu, he went 5th overall. Mm-hmm. That's very high. And if you're going to take him 5th,
who would you replace him with?
Well, I mean, I think Alshon could probably have been a better pick.
Okay.
Right? I think that Fed might have been a better pick. I think J-Dub. Just a reminder, J-Dub went 12th.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like if you are going 5th overall, you've got to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who's behind you. You got to make the playoffs. And I know that he missed a little bit of time.
Well,
but that's his own fault.
Ben went first and they did not make the playoffs.
Yeah, well, that's another one. Ben could be also the same argument, but Ben's record was very, very good. Still pretty good.
Okay.
Ben's record was good enough Ben's personal record was good enough to make the playoffs. So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because if you really look at these there's 12 teams, right? Look at these top 12. Ben, okay. Annalie. Mm-hmm. Annalie's the MVP, like cut and dry MVP of MLP.
I would give it to her or Anna Bright.
Yeah, but Annalie 43-3, like that's way better than Anna Bright.
Yeah.
But yeah, Anna Bright can make that argument too. But Annalie's the MVP. Riley Newman, his team did not do great.
Mm-hmm. What did he go, fourth?
Fourth, yeah. Daskew, Sock, Alshon, Ignatowicz. And then you went Catherine Thomas, who's been hurt. But again, you can make that argument too, that he didn't live up to expectations, but he's been hurt.
Well, he hasn't played at all. So
and then Fed and J-Dub.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think J-Dub is great value at 12. When you made Dallas made their first pick at 12.
Hey, Utah didn't make their first pick till like 30 or 30.
No, 19.
Oh, 19. But then they went down further after
and then
that.
they didn't make another pick for a while. Yeah.
Okay. Somebody said the fives will be so much better after the end of the year player drops and will upgrade Zane or Mari. Maybe,
but again, who do they get? And is it an upgrade? Now, anyone can play with that. Like, here's the reality: is you drop Mari. I know that females are harder to find, right? There's at this point in pickleball, there's more high level men than there are women, but the gap is closing, right? But we're only 2 years ago we were having freaking eight team fields in women's doubles.
Yep.
Okay, so you do drop Mari, right? That just you do because you can pair anybody with Annalie, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, Zane has great. He's a great singles player. He's a great dream breaker player, and he has good results.
Yeah.
Right. His results aren't great in MLP. What I'm saying is dream breakers.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yes.
And he has great energy. He's your team captain.
Yeah.
So Mari's the play there.
Okay. Thoughts on the split screen replay boxes being used on the broadcast?
I don't hate it because pickleball is so fast paced. One thing I talked about with Drew Felios when I commentated with him is how essentially they don't want you to talk during the point, and then you have 10 seconds between points to describe the last point that just went 42 shots. And so I think that the split screen, I don't hate it because they can show the replay while we get right into the next point. Otherwise, it's tough to even know what happened. And a lot of times we do want to see replays.
Yeah.
I do wish, like they do, like sometimes in basketball games, is like, because it is so fast paced, when they go to a commercial, they're okay cutting back 2 to 3 points ago and showing a replay of something spectacular.
Yeah. What's the best way to get a job in pickleball?
Beg. There's lots of jobs. What job are you looking for?
Yeah.
I think pickleball is growing. I think there's a lot of jobs out there.
Putting yourself out there, letting people know, hey, I'm interested in doing this.
What are your skills? What's your skill set? Yeah. Let people know. For sure.
Going to actual tournaments, I mean, that's probably the easiest way to meet.
Networking. Dude, look at what networking has done for our podcast. Yeah. Networking is massive.
Yeah. Are the fives as annoying in person as they are on the stream? I hate watching them play.
Worse.
Current favorite rivalry in men's pickleball and also women's pickleball. So women's would probably be easy. Yeah, it'd be Anna Bright
and Rachel against Annalie and Catherine. Yeah. And
men's, who would you say?
I would say my current favorite rivalry in men's pickleball.
Almost anybody against the Johns.
Yeah.
Any of the top 5 teams against the Johns.
Yeah, against the Johns is probably what it is. Now I would say anybody against them. I mean, Christian and James had like a little bit of a rivalry for a while, but now they're kind of playing with each other. So yeah, but even that wasn't great. So yeah, I would say anybody against Ben and Colin. Ben and Colin versus the world.
Jimmy, when will you be on the Colin Johns versus Andiamo?
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a great one.
Or Matt Wright versus Andiamo.
Yes, another great one. Riley Newman versus Colin Johns.
Yeah. Jimmy, when will you be on the mic again at PPA or MLP?
It's a good question. Actually, the only reason I was even on the mic was because somebody bailed.
Are you going to leave me for commentating?
No, but I would be happy to do it. I mean, I'll be at Worlds if they need somebody. Drew, hit me up.
What are the MLP GM's thoughts on power paddles for pro pickleball?
I think everybody's split, right?
So I've talked to 2. Yeah. And those 2 did not like the power.
Yeah, I think everybody's split on it. The thing is it depends on what you use, right? We played a match against the Las Vegas Night Owls, and Brandon French uses a Yola mod, and he hit a couple balls out, and Rafa kind of made a comment about his paddle, but Rafa's partner Zoe was also using that paddle. And, I think that it's just it's split. If you're using it, you don't have any issue with it. If you're not, you hate them.
Yeah.
And that's the reality is if they don't tone that down, I mean, we just saw this pickleball India, tournament happen.
Yeah.
And everybody was using Yolas.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody wants the power paddle, like the amateurs and everybody else. I played against somebody the other day with a de-lammed freaking Yola.
You're not a good person if you use a D-lamb paddle.
Yeah, I agree with that. And this person knows who they are. And they hit me in the face.
Got to get out of the way. Were you wearing glasses?
Can't get out
Were
of the
you
way.
wearing glasses?
It was the most ridiculous
It
thing.
slows down your reaction time.
The sound off of that paddle
It
was
slows down your reaction time.
the sound off that paddle was something I have never heard before. It was insane.
Have you never played pickleball?
And this is I'm just saying this is a person that has a lot of power anyways. Big boy, lots of power. It was ridiculous.
Who was it?
It was Ben Williams. Fucking douche. By the way, have you seen Ben lately?
No, I haven't.
Bro, he is slim.
Really?
He's looking
is that
good.
big?
No, freaking hard work, dedication.
Let's go, Ben.
Big Ben fan. Love Ben. Anyways, he freaking de-lammed, and he was still using it.
Hey.
Ben, you have money. I've seen your new house. Buy a new paddle.
Will pickleball ever return to Indian Wells Tennis Garden?
I hope so, but I think that there's been a lot of bridges burned in certain situations. And so, I don't know. Indian Wells was sick, dude.
Yeah, Indian Wells is great. Why is everyone once a bear, always a bear, except Mo?
It just is. We don't need to go through it.
He's a bear.
He's not
Did
a
he
bear.
get the care package?
He never got the care package. Yeah.
So is he a bear or no?
No.
But he was drafted to your team.
He was not. He was traded. He was part of a trade.
But he was on your team. He was yours to trade, right?
He got cut before he even made it.
But you cut him from the Bears.
He got cut before he even arrived.
But you had to cut him, so he was technically on your
It's
team.
like saying that Jeannie Arikina was a member of the Utah Black
She
Diamonds.
was, technically. Okay, Tyler, time to fix your roots. The blonde needs touch up. That's why I'm wearing a hat.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Jeez,
I am going to cut it, and then next year I'll redo it, but I'll do it a little bit better.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Please talk about the World Championship coming next year. Should be a big deal, right? World Championship?
Is that the PWR? Or
I don't know. Yeah.
Is that it?
I would assume so.
I mean, that's the pickleball league, right?
Yeah.
The global whatever.
Yeah,
it's
that's
called.
going to be interesting. We'll have to talk about this in depth on the next show, but that could be very interesting. I think competition is always good for players and spectators. I don't know if this is publicly announced, but I heard Gabe Tardio is going over there to play for
It's
2 months or so.
Yeah, it's like a 25-day. It's an event in India.
Yeah.
It's like 25 days. And I mean,
Tour Wars round 2?
yeah, I mean, Chris Hayworth is going. Grayson Golden, Will Howells will be there. Gabe Tardio, Susanna Barr. I mean, there's a lot of pretty big name players going over there. And I think it's $645,000 in prize money.
I thought it was $545.
Maybe $545 in prize money.
But that's total, right?
That is total, but it's for a 25-day event. Like, if Gabe Tardio goes over there and dominates, I mean, he could probably walk away with $75,000 to $100,000, and it's not bad payday.
Any hints on the PPA MLP schedule for 2025? My understanding is that those will be, PPA should be released within the next 1 to 2 weeks.
That's great. Oh, I had a question. Can you talk about Fed starting to lose it? Nobody's going to want to play with him anymore, especially in mixed.
So the thing with that is there's a lot of players who get mad, throw tantrums and everything like that. And bottom line is, as bad as it sounds, if you're winning, if you're playing well, people will still want to play with you. Despite your reputation, despite all of this stuff, people will still want to play with you if you're doing well. If you're not doing well and you have those antics, then that's when I think people will stay away from you, especially.
That's fair.
I mean, there's a lot of players. I mean, for a time, Riley Newman, he was eye roll, everything, very bad attitude, everything like that. And since 1 to 2 years ago, he's improved greatly. But people still wanted to play with him. Thoughts?
No, I agree with that. I mean, thing is you can put up with a lot if you're winning.
Money talks. Yeah. Wins
I mean,
talk.
Look at these players that have these crazy off-court antics in other sports or off-field antics, and they get second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth chances because they're good. You know, I mean, at some point, you know, it runs out, but you get multiple chances.
Okay, let's just wrap this up with a couple more. Somebody said, why does every New Yorker think they are better than everybody, especially at pickleball?
I mean, don't they think they're better than everybody at everything? Did you watch the Yankee-Dodger game last night?
I did not.
Mookie Betts went for a catch, and the freaking Yankee fan grabbed his arm, and then pulled it into the stands and then ripped the ball out of his glove. Grabbed him. Like, I've never seen anything like that. I don't want to, like, you know, I'm sure there's some nice New Yorkers, but New Yorkers are just built different.
Corey
Ben Bassett, great guy, but he's built different. He's just a little bit different, just a little tweak of a screw loose.
Besides Ryan Cherry, who are the biggest partiers on tour?
Well, they all are. They're all closet partiers. Ask our Airbnb in Atlanta that got trashed.
Last question. Build your ultimate pro using current player attributes. Dinking, drive, court sense, etc.
Okay. I like this.
All right. You have to use me for my backhand because my backhand's just kidding. My Ernie.
Tyler Ernie.
Okay. Done. I'm up there.
Okay. I think I take Ignatowicz's serve.
Okay.
I think that I take Ben's backhand roll.
Okay. Who's drop?
I think I take freaking Jackie's drop. Is it a guy
Let's
or
stick
a girl?
with all male right now.
Okay.
All male.
Because I think she has the best drops in pickleball. Gosh, men's drops are tough. I think I take Kwong's drive.
Okay.
Very flat drive.
What about Ben? Ben's drop.
Yeah, probably Ben. I think Ben probably
Maybe Colin.
No.
Colin's drop? His third is decent.
Yeah, that's decent. I think I take Ben's drop and Ben's backhanding.
What about volleys?
Volleys.
J-Dub?
J-Dub's actually a really good volleyer. I mean, you got to take J-Dub's hands, right?
Yeah.
Or do you take Hayden's hands?
J-Dub.
J-Dub's hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Overhead?
Overhead, that's an interesting one because I think that you were up there.
Pesa
is ridiculous.
Jack
what about
Sock.
De La Rosa?
De La Rosa.
I think I take De La Rosa's.
Yeah.
Sock has a great overhead, yeah.
Yeah.
How come, gosh, Kwong has a good overhead.
Who?
Kwong, QD.
It's good, but I wouldn't say it's
You don't think it's as good as
not
those
top
guys?
5, yeah.
Who's your top 5?
For overheads?
Yeah.
I mean, it's tricky because you got like De La Rosa and Pesa who by far hit the hardest overheads, but their doubles results aren't.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, the results. It's
so
the best
De La
overheads.
Rosa probably. Or no. I don't know. One of those two.
Pesa, De La Rosa, Soccer.
I would put myself at like 5 or 6.
Tyson's got a good overhead.
Overhead?
It's not bad. Have you not seen this guy that comments on everything you say about your weak overhead? And how you don't compare to Tyson?
Who is it?
I know some dude
on Twitter or YouTube?
And on Instagram.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh yeah, there was some video of you. Oh, it was when Ben was lobbing you over and over again.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "Look at your weak overhead. Tyson's got a better overhead than you." Yeah. So
love it. That's great.
Yeah. Do you think that power or angles are more effective with an overhead?
For sure, angles.
Yeah.
In the beginning of that one point that you were just talking about, I was actually hitting them kind of hard, and Ben was just getting them back. You have to angle it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Jimmy?
No. I mean, I think that I think I'm pumped for.
You think that you're pumped? You don't know? You think?
We'll see when I get there.
If he gets there.
If I get there. I'll
Okay.
see you when you.
If you made it this far, please do us a big favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us grow. We are coming out with some sweet new content. And so hopefully you guys like it. If you guys hit that like and subscribe button, you'll get notifications of when we post that said content.
Yes.
Big thanks to all of our sponsors. Go check them out. Use code KOTC. Also, if you're ever interested in attending any of these events in person or participating in them, like MLP or PPAs, most of the time we have a KOTC code that works for is it 20% off?
Yeah. Something
like 20% off your total amount.
Yeah, so it's 20% off. So any events, use code KOTC. I mean, really anything pickleball related, try KOTC.
Yeah.
But these events, it gives you very significant discount.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. Thank you. See you guys next time.